beginning of the semester, the first class that we had for MC 165, where we brought everybody together for the first time since he passed. It was difficult. I mean, everybody was crying, and we had, people from counseling services there to help and talk through, and they kind of started it along with Andrew Smith. And Drew's been such a rock through this for so many people, and a foundation for me to be able to hold on to and come and talk to about in regards to how we're going to get through it in terms of operations. But the way that I saw him impact other people, you just hear it in the stories that they share. I mean, day in and day out, people always discuss different things throughout the radio station. Oh yeah, Ian did this, Ian did that. And it just is this constant presence that he's gonna have for a while.
The legacy is gonna be with the students. So the legacy is gonna be with the students who he helped and touched. When we had his memorial service in March, we had students from all over the country come back who he had helped in his short time. He was only here for about 5 years, because I think that was what he was all about, was helping students in so many different ways, whether it was helping students feel that they belong somewhere, whether it was helping students materially, financially, whether it was helping them emotionally, whether it was helping them professionally, whether it was whatever it was, that's what he wanted to do.
I think I'd want Ian to be remembered for his capability to connect with others and his want for students to succeed at the highest level.
Actually walking that walk, whether it's calling somebody, being out where he hated being in his office. He wanted to be in the conference room at the radio station because everybody was filtering in and out of the conference room. And that's where things were going on. That's where he could meet and greet and talk to people and talk to students.
I think that his lasting impact here is reflected in the careers of you and you guys and so many other people here. Whether you were part of the radio station or not, this man was out pushing for students, and he was doing everything that he could to make sure that our students were heard. He made sure that our students understood the professional opportunities that they had in front of them.
He was so driven on getting internships for people and figuring out how he can provide a job and a space, an environment where people feel like they belong at the radio station.
You might be the zaniest person that ever walked in the room and had the weirdest ideas about conspiracy theories, or you could truly say anything you wanted to Ian, and unless it was severely out of pocket and offensive, he'd probably laugh and provide a different opinion or find a witty way to banter with you. And there are a few people that I know who were as universally loved by the people that understood what he was trying to do. And when he said, "Come with me," and the people that bought into his vision for the radio station and his vision for what he was trying to do here at Kansas State, it was special.
And he got hired by K-State in what was a fantastic move at the time by an outgoing interim director. I mean, they were so lucky.
It didn't matter what we had Ian teach. He could teach so many things, and he could do a great job at them. Whether it was mass communication law or mass communication in society, it didn't matter, because he always understood what needed to be taught in a class and what our students, especially the students here at K-State, needed to understand.
Cool. I remember the night that he got inducted into the Kansas Association of Broadcasters Hall of Fame. A former K-Stater and a big donor Ed Klimek had put his name in, who was also on the board of the Kansas Association of Broadcasters, an old radio owner. He was elected as the Distinguished Service Award recipient, and it comes with an automatic induction into the Kansas Association of Broadcasters Hall of Fame. And Ian gave his speech, and the speech was really an epic look back at his career, his philosophy, how he felt about people, what his values were. And I think it was the first time that a lot of people outside his inner circle really understood how serious it was. He ended it basically saying, "I hope this isn't my farewell. I hope this is just a stop along the way." And it ended up being his farewell. And then finding out that this year they're naming a new award after him. It's the Kansas Association of Broadcasters Media Educators Awards. And really, that to me, that he would be, I think, horrified in that while he liked to be the center of attention, if you knew Ian, he didn't want to be that much the center of attention. But he would also be, I think he would feel extremely honored, as well as glad that other educators were going to be recognized. I often, think now that I'm in his place, so to speak, certainly not a replacement, but in his place, that I really tried to emulate and mirror a lot of the things that I saw him doing. We were very closely aligned anyway, but that to me is, I think, his lasting legacy is if we can change some of the ways that we help and love each other, and that was always his number one goal, was to make sure people knew that they belonged, even up until the very, very end.
That's why I, to this day, still live by the quote, "We aren't along for the ride, we are the ride." And it's kind of cheesy in some ways, but it's true. We are the ride. And in a lot of sense, Ian made that ride so much fun, because not only did we win awards, but we had pizza parties, and we had so much just camaraderie and compassion for so many different aspects of what radio can be. And to me, Ian Punnett was a trailblazer, and in some ways will be always remembered as a trailblazing editing wizard that so many people were influenced by and impacted through.
We're a better place because Ian Punnett was here. The dream job of his, unfortunately, got cut short. But I've known of very few people to make the kind of mark that he made in the short time that he was allowed to live and to fulfill his dream.
Ian Punnett just so happened to be at Kansas State University in 2023 to win the best college radio station in the nation, and over 40 plus KAB awards and a Hearst Award, and all these things that were able to be achieved because he engaged students at the most basic level, finding out what they're passionate about, helping them create content that they want to create, and then flooding the field with that content. And because of that, I think that's partly going to be why he goes down as, one of the most influential and impactful educators that Kansas State has ever had in terms of communication and being able to engage students and provide a space for them to be able to excel and find out what they want to do with their life and career.